Indes 94L has formed off the coast of South Carolina, currently moving a little bit northeast as it's going to make landfall in North Carolina in the next couple of hours around Wednesday. Here's that Inves right here. Winds of 30 knots, which is a little pretty high. That's around almost a tropical storm force winds, 1,013 millibars, and that's what we've got going on. So it's not really organized to say the least. We do not have a lot of models, but three of them actually, bringing it to tropical storm status, which is rather interesting in the next 24 hours. So I am expecting the National Hurricane Center to really bring this up to a medium chance. Um, it doesn't really have a defined center of circulation right now, but that's pretty much where the low is located, around here, according to the National Hurricane Center. And they've put the little thingy for development around here as it's going to be moving into North Carolina. So it's pretty crazy to see right now. It's looking a little bit better organized, and I think it could pull. It could definitely pull what was it called? Bertha did, where it just became a tropical storm right before landfall. Look at that convection forming near the center. I'm not sure. I think the center might be here now, or even here, when we can see that circulation maybe trying to form. So it could pull a Bertha and just form right before making that landfall, which would be really interesting. Uh, but this has been made in Invest, so it does show that this could definitely form. Um, so here's that track. As you can see, it's gonna make landfall around between North and South Carolina, and it's gonna be moving just straight northeast in the next couple of days. So that's pretty interesting to say the least in this 94L. And I'm pretty surprised because I really didn't expect this to form at all. If we do look at Atlantic wide right now, you can see that wide area of showers. And that's Orinvest right here. That is Orinvest, which has just separated from this big front right here. And that's why I think it could become tropical. Here is Orinvest right here. That little thing. And it definitely doesn't look too bad. That low is right here, so it's gone a little bit more north than previously expected. It was expected to make landfall here, and now I think it's going to be staying in water a little bit longer. Here's that tropical wave also coming off the coast of Africa, and that's the old tropical wave that has died off. So that's pretty interesting to see. It could become a subtropical storm according to some sources. Um, so it's pretty crazy to say the least. Look at the first model. See that GFS model showing a 1014 landfall, 1015. The CMC model shows a 1014-15 landfall in 24 hours. So most models showing that landfall happening in the next 24 hours. 1013 landfall in the next 24 hours. Uh, also from the European model, it's actually showing tropical storm force winds on the north side of that system. So it's pretty crazy. So NavGem, what's NavGem? NavGem again showing 1014 millibar tropical storm force winds up there in 18 to 24 hours. So our models are showing that system making landfall all at around 1014 to 1013 in the next 24 hours. So it's very interesting. Same thing with this one. They're all showing that landfall happening in the next 24 hours. Now, will it form? Will it not form? We're just going to have to see at this point. It's kind of unlikely. Only 10% chance. But it is an Invest. And it is Invest 94L. So it could definitely form. And I'm definitely not ruling out that possibility. But, we're just going to have to see how it does, happen. Right now, it's currently located off, just off the coast, and it's supposed to get its act together. So it's really interesting right now, and I do think it could pull a Bertha, because if we do remember Bertha, very disorganized. It only had at first a like 10% chance. It was right here, and it was going to be moving into this area. and then actually, really, in a couple hours, the chances increased, and it made landfall with 50 mile per hour winds, and it actually, I don't know if you guys remember, it made landfall somewhere here, just like formed right off the coast, and then weakened to a tropical depression. So we could see this with this, where it's going to be moving, and then just before hitting, it's just going to really get its act together and blow up in convection. Because it's already blowing up in convection right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen with this system, as it does move north. Now, if we do look at that visible high resolution, we can get to see a little bit more of that system and what it looks like. Again, still very disorganized, but if we do try to look at that center of circulation, it's not there, okay? And it's actually there now. So at first, you don't really see that center of circulation, but now in those latest frame, you can kind of see some kind of center of circulation, maybe reforming here, because currently, according to the National Hurricane Center, that center of circulation is around here, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yeah, according to the National Hurricane Center, that center of circulation was like around here or that area. But I do think it's reforming. It's having a new center of circulation. It's going to be forming right here. And look at all that convection that's going to start spinning up around. And I bet you in the next update, it's going to be up to like 50%. And it's going to pull a Bertha and just quickly make that landfall. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe it already updated. Who knows? But it wouldn't surprise me that much. I don't know what they're going to do the next update. But I mean, it could happen, you know? It just could happen right now. Water vapor, if there's some dryer, not too much dryer. Now, we do need to take into consideration that this is connected to another, like it's connected to a second low. This is the other low. Oops, it's connected to this low inland. So that's why it's not really tropical. But if it does, if it is able to disconnect from that major low inland, because like it is connected to that low, okay, and it used to really be, but it's blowing up in convection. If it is able to disconnect from this low right here, this low that's around here, then it does have that potential to become a subtropical storm before making landfall in North Carolina. But it's just gonna have to disconnect from that low, and it's already kind of disconnecting. And there is some dry trying to wrap in that center though from Florida, so it's interesting, but it is in some favorable conditions right now. Again, see, it's just really connected to that level low right here. Look at that big blob. You know, it's just a big blob of clouds. And if it is able to disconnect from that big low, it could be able. It just needs to disconnect from this thing and disconnect. Otherwise, it might just be subtropical storm Dolly. You know, who knows? But we're just gonna have to see at this point. Again, right here, you can see that that convection is really starting to pick up. And look at that, you could see that little rotation. So I'm not sure, but the rotation could either be here or here, so I'm not too sure where it actually is right now. But that's your tropical weather update. 94L has formed. Pretty crazy to see. And that's it.